Are we on the edge of a foreclosure crisis? Hey everybody, Scott Walters. Buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. Just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So are we on the edge, on the verge, on the brink of a foreclosure crisis? You know, we better hope not, friends. And here's the realities. I mean, our job here, and thank you to everybody who continues to support the channel. I've done my best to limp the channel along and just keep it alive. A lot of the videos that I've been posting have been stuff that I recorded a long time ago and just kind of kept the channel going. So thank you for continuing to stay with me. So hopefully this is going to be a little bit of an update on where I, as an active boots on the ground real estate professional, owns and operates real estate and helps people buy and sell real estate on a daily basis. I'm all things real estate. I always say, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. I absolutely love real estate. And I hope that's why you found this channel. And I hope that's why you stuck with this channel, is because I have financial gain from this bubble continuing to do its thing, right? I was the recipient of the stimulus program that was initiated, targeted at the real estate market. So you have to understand, let's talk a little bit of what happened, what it's like, and what it's like now. We got to examine all of these things so we understand the waters we're swimming in. I want you guys to all have your thumb on the pulse of what's really going on out there. Now, I've seen a version of this movie before. We've had real estate bubbles throughout history. We've always had the boom bust cycle. Now, this was generational. This was unlike anything we've seen. And I remember when I first started reporting on this, it was just a moment of clarity I got notification from our brokerage that we are now essential workers and we're clear to go sell homes. Most people didn't know why. They just like, whatever, I need to get back out there. And then the floodgates opened as artificially induced real estate market had a complete euphoria like we've never seen before. Overnight appreciation we've never seen before highs. That's what I say. It's a real estate bubble. That's what constitutes a real estate bubble? Overnight appreciation and never seen before highs. But this thing was a runaway train. Why, you ask? Well, of course, I'm telling you, multi-layered. But the main thing is that when you have lockdowns, limited people wanting to put their homes on market because they're sheltering in place, and you drop interest rates and now tell everybody it's the red hot housing market, great time to buy. And then you add the screen time from us being locked at home, watching other people. And with the introduction of now retail investors being able to get involved with the stock market on their apps, and Airbnb, retail purchasers of real estate treating it like a crypto. This is slow moving tangible asset real estate where it's not designed to be a speculative asset, but that's in fact what it's become over the past 20, 30, 40 years. And slowly but surely, due to where we're at now, and that was one of the things I used to always get, mainly from other real estate professionals. I watch your channel and this time is different. There's no crash risk here because this time is different. The loans are strong. It doesn't matter. Get out of the problem and in the solution. The first step of getting out of a problem is admit there's a problem. You overheated the real estate market. That's not going to be good, especially now. Those real estate agents now, if I interview them, before it was like I got to go do an open house this weekend on a property that I also have to have the owner do a price reduction because we have a new comp on the market we're competing with that shows better than us for less money. We have no choice. We got to drop the price. But I used to always have other agents roll through my open houses or tours or just maybe out there doing my thing and, come across agents. What do you guys say? I got to ask you the $1 million question. So what? And they don't know who I am. I'm on YouTube whistleblowing, basically, saying this is a bubble. Some of them know who I am. Some of them actually are like, hey, man, don't tell anybody, but I watch you and I agree with you. I would ask you $1 million question. I got to ask you, is this a real estate bubble? No, this is not a real estate. And they get mad. Like, okay, calm down. If you're so confident it's not a real estate bubble, why are you getting so hot under the collar? You should be confident in what you're saying. No real estate bubble here. I'm good. And that was some of the agents. But now they're completely changing their tune. I talk to agents all over America now, courtesy of you guys. Thank you so much. I'm top producing referral agent in the nation. Because right now I understand. I've always said this when it comes to real estate because I love it. And that's why I'm able to sacrifice a sale. It doesn't matter to me. The money is just secondary now. It's not about the money. Like I said, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I'll do this stuff for free. And I've done it for free many, many times. I've talked to so many of you guys, consulted with you. And if it looks like your area has safety, boom. Let's go kick the tires, shake the trees, and write some potential offers. But don't fall in love with anything, because as soon as you fall in love with the property, what do they got? You. They got you hook, line, and sinker. So if we're out there, we got to sometimes not fall in love with properties. But that was really hard for people during this crisis. Now that's going to bring us back as we tie this together. What happened, where we're at now, is prices now have reached levels that are no longer tolerable. We've timed, this is a hard one too, because nobody has a crystal ball except Scott Walters Real Estate. We've timed the top of a real estate bubble. But it gets better or worse, depending on how you look at it. Not just any bubble. Not just any bubble, not a garden variety bubble, not even a 2008 bubble. The biggest bubble ever recorded in human history. Let me repeat. This is the biggest artificially induced real estate bubble ever produced in history, and it can no longer tolerate any more growth as we see the runaway inflation, the two-headed monster I always talk about, and the risen interest rate environment. The economy is now a runaway train. It's left the station and it's off the tracks. We got to stop this thing. Now, we'll step back just a hair, because this could have been avoided. You could have done stimulus checks. You could have done PPP loans to hold up businesses. But when we overheated the real estate market and didn't handle business and roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty, when we were too busy in our basements watching our own real estate values go up on paper and thinking this was pretty neat, it actually can implode our whole economy. Because if we lose, let me repeat, listen close. Whew. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to talk about this stuff, because this is hard to talk about stuff, and I'm trying to do it in a way that's not doom or gloom. I'm just raising awareness, ringing the bell, sounding the alarm, letting people know the biggest artificially induced housing bubble ever produced in world history might not sustain itself. When we did overnight, we should have risen rates the second we saw this thing start to go hockey stick straight up. Boom. Hey, listen, we need to raise rates instantly. We're about to overheat the housing market. If it crashes, it takes what? The whole entire economy along for the ride. That's what happens. If we lose the U.S. housing market, we will be thrusted into a knee-deep recession that many economists, and I've caught myself saying that you can't rule this out either, real estate agents will not like this, a depressionary level of a downturn. There are 3 levels of an economic downturn: a correction phase, which we're clearly in now, and some would argue we're already in recession from a lot of the other data we can pull from, and I would have to probably lean towards that myself. But if we can't stop it there, we will enter into a deep cycle recession that's categorized as a depressionary level of a downturn, which throughout history has cycled approximately every 80 to 100 years. And we're in the 100-year cycle. The last depression was the Great Depression. Stock market crash. What causes it? Unimportant at this time. My opinion, what's at the biggest risk right now is real estate just got to it went up way too much, and we have a lot of bad debt out there. Especially, pick your poison. Airbnbs, those are going sideways as we speak. Wall Street selling off their holdings as a loss as we speak. iBuyer programs being terminated, liquidating their holdings at a loss. Commercial real estate sucking air at levels we've never seen before. And these are big behemoth buildings that could potentially, I mean, for me, I'm like, this is the elephant in the room, commercial real estate. But because it's not sexy, we don't want to talk about our house. Can't live in our office, although many of us are forced to try to make a buck. So we see this, whether it's remote working, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's layoffs, whether it's commercial real estate, whether it's Wall Street, whether it's Airbnb, whether it's stock market. I mean, there's throw the dart at the proverbial challenge map and you're hitting something threatening the U.S. housing market. So that's what's happened, what it's like now. Now, what the $1 million question is, what's coming down the pipe? Like, that's the $1 million question. So, not a betting man, and I would love to. I'd love to be wrong on this, but as a level-headed realist and somebody who's a grown man now, has been around for decades, and can talk about, taking my lumps in the last recession and not regretting it anymore because of what I've learned. Do I want to go repeat it? Of course not. Of course not. That's why this time I'm like playing it safe. Now there's areas, and we'll tune in, subscribe, because if you're interested in buying or selling real estate, first of all, reach out, ScottWaltersRealestate@gmail.com will help you. But there's certain areas that are going to be recession insulated. Let me repeat, recession insulated, but not recession proof, meaning they might be the last to join the party. But there's going to be certain areas that are going to go upside down first if it happens. And that's what all of us now have to ask ourselves, percentage of likelihood. What's the percentage of likelihood that real estate could have another bust? We could go through another boom bust period with the real estate. Well, we're going to have it held up as much as humanly possible because the social injustice and outcry to save it will be too much pressure for leadership to not do anything. But what they will do is throw you a bone, but not necessarily a life preserver. They're going to try to put a Band-Aid on a shotgun blast because that's all really anybody can do. There is no saving it. Lets it go sideways. So this one, in my opinion, is too big to save. Now, like I said, there's areas. If your affordability index is already there, meaning homes didn't go too parabolic, they're still within the national median home price average, and local wages and income and job markets are strong, those areas could escape this. Even in the Great Depression, certain areas were able to escape the catastrophic blowback that other areas experienced. So where are those areas going to be? Because I know a lot of you, and I've read the comments, and I'm tempted to be of the same mindset. Wait till there's blood in the streets and let's go out there and pick off some foreclosed homes. So the reality is this. Will there be foreclosures? Yes, we're already seeing the foreclosures and pre-foreclosures and defaults starting to tick up. But that data is being suppressed because we're also in an election year. So we're going to probably do what we can not to let the cat all the way to out of the bag. But there's certain experts and economists that understand where we're at. So where are these foreclosure concentrations going to happen if and when they do? Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, I'm glad to report, to figure this one out. Where it will occur is these brand new developments that popped up during the crisis. The brand new homes where every single person in the neighborhood bought when? During a real estate bubble. They bought at the height. In fact, most of these people that bought are already seeing their houses go down in value. And some of these homes that are just now finally being completed and they're watching the builders discount those homes. They might have got a lower interest rate, but the new buyers getting lower prices, which is dragging their prices down. So they can no longer sell their house for what they paid for it. They're handcuffed to the home by the low interest rate. But if we hit recession, even that low interest rate won't help them. So then they are forced to market, but they will be forced to market as a short sale or foreclosure. So here it is, friends, the $1 million question in final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy that wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. Welcome to the swimming pool. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not anybody's fault. I probably should take more blame than anybody because I was part of the problem, not the solution, as I was deemed an essential worker in an artificially induced market. It was a casino climate. It was like a slot machine that continued to pay out. That's not fair. That's not fair. And that's why I never grandstand here and tell you about all my magnificent sales and all the business I'm doing, because I can't take credit for it the way I'd like to. I've learned how to sell real estate before all this stuff, and it was much different. And it's going back to that. And I hate that because I love real estate. I want it, and we're going to get this thing back. It's just going to be really challenging. But here's the deal. Foreclosures will come. It now becomes, will we see it come at levels that will cause a real estate boom bust cycle? Logic and history, historical data would tell you it's coming. Now you get to ask yourself, was this the perfect storm to create another real estate bubble? And do real estate bubbles get followed by real estate bust? Ones of this magnitude, I believe, have a high percentage, but now it's which areas are going to be the recipient of the biggest amount of blowback, and that will be anything built during the crisis, sold at the height of the market. They will have the biggest amount. Watch them come. We're already seeing for sale signs going into these yards. It's in fact already started. And that's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well, or simply reach out to ScottWaltersRealestate@gmail.com. We will find you there. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.